All right, fun stuff, folks. So there's a lot of talk these days about nitric oxide, and I'm here for the Gematria that nitric oxide, first pass, divides by 5, which means it screams out joy. It equals 130. So based on preliminary reading I've done, when you consume raw garlic and crush it to get the elastin, which divide by 5, and together with vitamin C, like an apple, then it makes your body, it stimulates your body to produce nitric oxide, which is kind of like a blood flow enhancer or whatever. And all the athletes apparently are going big on this. And anyways, but I'm just here for the Gematria first pass. Nitric oxide divides by 5. Joy. And I'm recording just because garlic equals joy. Blood flow equals love, joy. We talked about that. But it's so neat that like when I naturally eat crushed garlic, I actually crave apple right after. Like it's a natural craving. So apple equals joy, garlic equals joy. But apparently the consumption of garlic together with vitamin C really spikes your nitric oxide, which apparently is I gotta read more about it. Maybe I will. Now that I found another gem that divides by 5. There it is. So nitric, the word nitric ends in 50, which is joy. And then the O in oxide divides by 5. Yeah, and the rest all knits together, yada yada yada. I might just read a little bit just for fun about the currents. I don't know what's nitric oxide. So what's the talk about this? Nitric oxide, the formula is simply NO. 1 nitrogen plus 1 oxygen. What's interesting to me from a Gematria standpoint, of course, is that, oh yeah, nitrogen. Okay. Nitric oxide. Yeah, so here's the short answer that I'm looking at. The endothelium inner lining of blood vessels uses nitric oxide to signal the surrounding smooth muscle to relax, thus resulting in vasodilation and increasing blood flow. That's the main clincher there. And there are there's these bodybuilding websites that have photos of people with varicose veins, and they're talking about nitric oxide, which is very true. But they've discovered that when you consume raw garlic together with vitamin C, it apparently increases your nitric oxide, which stimulates blood flow. So again, the garlic, back to my original, garlic is useful in stimulating blood flow. But I'm here for the Gematria. We know that blood flow is a cause for happiness inside of people. And nitric oxide divides by 5, because 5 is the number of joy. Okay. Alrighty. Now I just love, I'm just checking a few other words here. Okay. The inner lining of blood vessels. Pretty huge. Like it's so amazingly, the word this is mind-blowing, but you have to go here. The blood vessel equals nitric oxide. You can't deny that, okay? And they both divide by 5. And the revelation we've been having lately is that 5 is the number of joy, and garlic equals joy. What's so amazing about garlic is every letter in joy can be built from the letters in garlic in perfectly 3 teams of 2 letters apiece. AI equals J. LC equals O. GR equals Y. Okay? Garlic equals joy. You cannot argue with that. And all the science, okay, now we're just reading more of the science on why that is. Okay, what is joy inside the human body? Well, everything that I've experienced and all that the Lord has led me to do personally, it's all about increasing blood flow. It's all about vasodilation. Remember, the Bible says the life is in the blood, okay? So there's a lot of foods, natural foods that God ordained, that if we consume them, we get all that healthy, life-giving blood flow to all of our trillions of cells, and it makes us happy. Happier than people who don't eat those kind of foods, okay? So garlic is a huge one. Now, there's 3 other foods that equal joy. So chew your raw garlic, 5 cloves, whatever, if you want to be technical about 5 being joy, and I've done that, and it's terrific about the right amount. But cocoa powder is a linchpin for vasodilation as well. We could go on, but when I consume garlic, if you want to be technical and choose another food, okay, with vitamin C that is good to go, choose an apple because that equals joy, or choose a mango, which also equals joy. So you go from eating a garlic, which equals joy, to a mango, which equals joy, to an apple, which equals joy, to corn, which equals joy. But the linchpin, by far the linchpin, the number 1 kahuna, gram for gram, in my opinion, is the garlic. Garlic equals joy. And so nitric oxide divides by 5. Nitric oxide equals blood vessel. So let's get this straight. The inner lining, endothelium of blood vessels, uses nitric oxide, okay, to signal the surrounding smooth muscle to, now here's the key word that also divides by 5, relax. If there's one thing this psychopathic culture needs, it's proper nutrition that helps people relax. Coffee and just glutenized carbs. Now gluten is a bit toxic these days because of the GMO wheat, but that's my personal experience based on my body's feedback. So relax divides by 5, it equals 60, okay? Thus resulting in vasodilation and increasing blood flow. The inner lining of blood vessels uses nitric oxide to signal this, okay, and vasodilation and increasing blood flow. Blood flow equals love, joy. It also equals Good Friday, because on Good Friday we celebrate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, which is the most important blood flow that ever happened in the history of mankind. The blood flowing for the sins of the world. So blood flow equals love, joy, the first 2 fruits of the Spirit in order. But when anyone experiences blood flow on the inside, it is joy. Love, joy, blood flow. Increasing blood flow. Nitric oxide is highly reactive, having a lifetime of a few seconds. Okay. Yet diffuses freely across membranes. These attributes make nitric oxide ideal for a transient paracrine between adjacent cells and autocrine within a signaling molecule. Okay. Ay. Okay, I'm gonna have to just read this myself.